Hello and welcome to the first video using the new setup in the garage. I've moved the pot and bench over to a different side of the garage. I've fitted this lovely new pegboard as well. Not set up, the final way, but good enough for now. And I've put some lights in as well, so that hopefully we've got some really nice angles for 2024's repotting season that we have coming up. In today's video, however, I'm going to show you these 3 trees that I got from Cornwall Council. They've done a few of them. I know Dan at the Bonsai Project Cornwall, he went up and got his trees earlier in the year, or late 2023. And last week was my turn. So here's a picture of their little setup. Keep an eye out if they're coming to a place near you. Not every council in the UK does this. In fact, I've not really heard of it anywhere else, but it's a, plant a tree scheme. Not necessarily for bonsai, but I'm going to show you how you can turn some of those trees into bonsai. So trees we got, first of all, this lovely hawthorn clump, which of course is going to be a forest of some kind, isn't it? Look at that. Free, again, might I mention. In this big bag then, we have some rowan, which aren't ideal for bonsai, but we're still going to have a look at them. And then these bigger ones are field maples. And in here, we have also got some crab apples and some birch as well. So now I'm going to go through these, show you how I get these prepared for bonsai and my method with selecting different trees. So before I dive into the lovely hawthorn forest that I want to set up, let's just go through a random one together. So let's pick a field maple. I see this one. These came bare root. Some of them are sort of cell planting trees as well. So here's one. It's quite an interesting bit of trunk movement there. So we're gonna focus on that. So interesting bit of movement. We don't want all this taproot, so I'm just gonna cut it off there. Because I want to keep this one for bonsai, what I'm going to do is find maybe the second pair of buds, which is here on this tree. Cut it there. It can go as well. And then get that potted up as our first little bonsai. So I'm quite a big fan of these sort of like takeaway pots that I've collected. They're a fairly good size for starting trees, and it kind of encourages a more flat spreading root system, and I'm just using my more water retaining soil as opposed to my regular bonsai mix. So I'm just going to keep filling that up. Like so, and yeah, I'll give it a water in a minute, but I just wanted to show you one example of how I'm going to start these trees off. So pause there. There you saw me do something a little bit different. So what I did, it's much easier to sort of get some initial shape into these saplings and small trees when they're bare root. So instead of trying to wire it in the pot and do all that, what I do is I will wire the sapling itself and then pot it up. So there's an example. That one had a lot more root on it. I wish that was the first example that I used, because I feel a lot better about that. But yeah, right, back to it. And then, so another example, the very next tree I did, I just had a much nicer root structure there. And I thought that that might lend itself nice to a root of a rock. So we've got that coming over that side, and then straddling this side as well. That'll look quite nice. But again, to sort of recover it, just go into a flower pot. I'm going to just wrap this with some vet tape. Thanks for that, Tony. We miss you, buddy. Yeah, so there's another one. planted the rowan. So these are rowan trees. They have other names as well. Mountain ash, they're also called. So a lot of these are pretty boring. There's not a lot to look at there, but occasionally you'll get one. This one's pretty cool. This one's got a funky little bend in it. That could make a fairly cool, interesting tree in the future. This one's wavy. We're looking for that. And then the rest of these are fairly boring. But you know what you do with boring trees? Two things. Boring trees either become kabudachi, which means to tie them all together and they fuse and become a thicker, stronger tree, or you use them for a forest planting. So I think I'm going to keep some of the straighter ones to maybe incorporate into the forest that we're going to do in a bit. So these are crab apples, and I've put them together because they've got quite an interesting root flare at the bottom. Not entirely sure why. Fruit trees I think sometimes do that. It's like bobbling. So I think if they fuse together, there's only the three, but I think that would look quite cool. So I'm going to tie them together as well. And then I'm going to film a separate video on Dan's marmite challenge, but this came in with the pack. What do you think to this little guy? Oh my god, that's cute. Should we pot him up in this? Alright then. That's going to be an awesome little tree if it comes through. Look at that. Oh my god. So next is going to be the forest planting, but I believe I've run out of time in this session. Luckily for you, it's all going to be in the same video. So I'll see you in a bit. So now let's look at the forest that I put together, guys. So this is a mixture of all of the different trees that we got from this free tree bundle. So we've got hawthorn, rowan, crabapple, and possibly a birch in there too. So to see this thing leaf out, it's going to be really awesome. We've got like 90% of the hawthorns here, so quite a few. I think I counted like 11, something like that. And then we've got the old rowan. There's 2 rowan there, and then I think possibly this one back here is a birch. So yeah, have a look at that. I'll spin it around. So you're looking at the front of the forest now. So kind of sporadic yet methodical placing of the trees. Trying to figure out some sort of natural look. Just in a training container for the next couple of years at least. Some of these trees still hanging on to their autumn leaves. It's very much winter, so you know I'll be keeping these frost free until the spring. But yeah, that is the hawthorn, well no, that is the free tree forest. So all the trees together then, I think we've got a really good showcase of the different styles that you can try with saplings. So I've got everything from, you know, big forest that I just did, to kabudachi or clump style with grouping saplings together to make a more interesting tree. How to pick out interesting trunk lines and different features, either to accentuate them with wire or to look at interesting roots and create a root over rock like we did with that field maple. Then to picking out, you know, marmay sized trees, the tiny one that is, and just, yeah, generally how I would pick out different trees and then kind of categorize them into their best or most suited style. I think that's going to be it for this video. Please let me know if you enjoyed it. Do you prefer this setup? Let me know in the comments. I hope that gave you some idea of what to do with saplings or starter trees. Maybe you've got some in the corner of the garden, you're not sure what to do with them. I realised when I started this video that this year's free trees from Cornwall Council have been given out, so keep an eye out for next year's cycle because they do them pretty much every year as far as I know. And other than that, please stay tuned because there are so many really exciting repots coming up in 2024. As you can tell, I'm actually using proper bonsai soil now. I'm more equipped with the proper tools, and I'm just really excited to share some of my really cool projects with you this year. Other than that, wherever you are in the world, make sure you take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye bye.
If you enjoy the videos and you'd like to support the channel, please consider following the links in the description. Here you'll find links to the Amazon wishlist. This is the best way to help the channel. Alternatively, you can buy these t-shirts. Please email or DM me to find out how you can get those. Lastly, the easiest way to help support the channel is drop a like on this video and please press the subscribe button. That would mean the world to me. Thank you so much.